Welcome to partialarc.com. Don't do that.
You find yourself in a tavern.
Oh, we should have checked for traps.
I knew he forgot something.
I think I can reason with him.
You killed his father.
Can I have sex with it?
You could certainly try.
I'm gonna touch a sword.
Don't touch the sword!
The child is evil, right?
Obviously.
I could cast Fireball.
Always cast fireball.
All right, roll for it. Welcome to Friday Night Quests. I'm Jay Jones, your host and usually your dungeon master. However, this week we continue with part 3 of our special interlude adventure, run by Mike Christensen. Oh, this is fun. A few weeks ago we put out a poll on Twitter asking you to cast your votes for your favorite D&D monster. And we just put up another poll on Twitter asking you to vote for your favorite magic items on the show. Feel free to swing by our Twitter at partialarc and let us know which items you like the best. And without further ado, let's get to the game. Previously, on Friday Night Quests, a woman named the Second has recruited 2 mercenaries to infiltrate the flying castle Quietus Keep and recover a magical ledger. These 3 have infiltrated the library, but now they find themselves confronted by a very creepy man. A man who may not be entirely alive.
Oh, nice.
Damn, my initiative rolls have been on point.
I got 21.
I also got 21.
And I got 20.
I rolled a 19.
Damn,
I rolled
sons.
a 15, so I don't know how you
I rolled a
decide who goes
16.
first.
I think because you have a higher initiative modifier, you would go before me.
Okay,
Because
That's how I roll it.
Basically, you have just better...
cool.
You are faster.
Also, wait a second. We didn't really determine this. As Dante saw me pulling out the crystal rod, and we were probably still messaging, I probably was saying, like, kill him.
Well, also, I mean, he can hear this conversation,
Right,
And
and
I
discern
don't need you to roll an
context.
insight check to know that like it's about to jump.
But
off.
what I'm saying is, can Dante get a surprise round on this guy?
It won't be a surprise round, but he will be able to act normally and first.
Okay.
Okay.
By the way, when he looked like he was about to, as I whipped out my the crystal rod from my hair, when it looked like he was about to, I guess approach us, did like he do anything physically? Like, did some vampire teeth pop out of his mouth?
Did he smile suddenly and expose massive
vampire teeth?
canines?
It's not his turn yet. I think this is all happening super simultaneously.
Did
There wasn't a thematic
he open
pause
up his
moment?
shirt that says like I'm a guest?
Asking me about my vampirism.
Yeah, ask me about if I'm a vampire.
I guess I don't want to blow one of my third level
Thing is, we
spells
don't
if it
know what
doesn't do
this
anything.
thing is yet.
Yeah, so I'm going to hold off on going too crazy.
I think when we see vampire teeth and it starts doing vampire things, that's when we can be like, oh, that's a vampire.
So I should aim for chopping off the head and hitting him in the heart.
Sure.
that's
I mean,
good.
I think that works either way, if it's a vampire or not. So
Rule of thumb: removing the head and destroying the brain is never a terrible approach.
yeah, removing the head and then also destroying the heart. I mean, I think that works effectively on giants, demons.
I feel like that was like they overlooked that when they did the vampire mythos. They're like, yeah, this is bad for everybody. Like,
Yeah, cut off his head and bury it in a river. I mean, that works on everyone.
Yeah, that works on
So
literally
few
anything
people will
alive.
come back from that.
So he can't really...
God damn it, Mike! If this is the Lich, I'm gonna be mad.
I agree that would be a huge betrayal.
That'd be such a dick move.
After I sent you so many text messages, hey, if you see the Lich, don't fight him.
Don't fight the
Don't try to
Lich.
fight that Lich, Jay.
You know what?
So,
he
okay.
loves to peruse his collections on Sundays.
So after that whole conversation between the Second and this mystery blonde dude, since he doesn't see me, I step out from like behind like the shadows and the bookcase, and I just go, all right, let's slow down, and I shoot him with Ray of Frost, and I'm
Nice.
gonna twin spell it, so I do it twice.
Oh,
And I'm gonna
sweet.
give myself advantage.
Yes.
Is twin spell a specific thing for sorcerers?
For cantrips, you have to spend 1 sorcery point, and for a spell, you have to spend as many sorcery points as that spell level.
when
So I
you
could
twin
technically do a
spell it, what does it look like? Does it look like there's like a
Well-
shadow image of you coming off and firing another one?
Well, for like when I did it last time, I say like I hit like a little button. Cause
Oh, on your gun and it
Because I've
splits.
customized my crossbow more, so it like it
Twin spell lets it hit a
splits.
second target.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I did last time. So I can't do it.
He can't make it the same one?
no,
No.
I think I get to target 2 things.
No, that's
Oh,
why.
okay.
That's why the barrel split.
Oh, that's
Oh.
where the barrel splits.
I'm gonna instead do empowered spell.
Okay.
There we go.
Well, you can choose to do that if you roll damage.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna shoot him. I still did the cool thing.
Does
With
he
wild
now, real
magic.
quick, this isn't a surprise round, but does he have advantage on this? Because the
I do.
guy did not see him.
Well, he gave himself.
Oh, he gave himself advantage anyway. For wild magic
Yeah, he
reasons.
wouldn't get advantage for not being seen because he's not a rogue.
24.
So. 24 will hit.
All right.
Sure
Go
it's not a
ahead and-
Tarask?
Roll damage.
A secret Tarask?
Yeah, go ahead and roll damage.
So that's 15 damage.
Nice.
15 damage, all right.
And
Doesn't it, because it does something, right? Like it freezes him?
It slows him, I
and
believe.
it reduces his speed by 10 feet until my next turn.
Okay.
And then I roll percentile die. Let's see what
And again, it is entirely up to DM's discretion when to have someone roll
Yeah.
for their wild magic. I choose to do it immediately and every time because I like it.
55. Please be something not horrible.
Okay. Well, we'll see.
Taken under advisement.
Your hair falls out, but it will grow back within 24 hours.
So from my cloak, you just see clumps of hair just fall.
and from your sleeves.
Not
Oh my God, all
that's
your
right.
hair.
We established this last time. It's all your hair just falls out of your body.
not again.
It's gathering around where your boots meet your pants.
We're really weirded out by your look because you no longer have eyebrows.
Oh, that's right. It's all
Yeah.
gone.
Adora turns around and is like, oh yeah, this happened last time too.
I'm used to this.
It's hard to tell if he's surprised now.
That was 15 damage and slowed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or
Reduced by 10 feet.
minus 10
whatever.
feet. Thank you. Okay. That is your turn. Anything else you want to do in your turn?
No.
The second
Yep. Second's up next.
is the second to go.
Oh, that's how she got her name. No, that's not how she got her name. All right, so here we go. She's classic, old standby. She's actually, hold on a second. No. She's not doing Eldritch Blast because she knows what this thing is. Well, she doesn't know what it is, but she knows it's undead.
Yes.
So she's going to use Chill Touch. So she flicks out quickly her crystal rod, and you see a ghostly image kind of flutter in the air for a moment and then immediately appear in front of him and go to grasp his throat. And basically gonna roll and try to hit this guy.
Real quick, Ray of Frost. It's cold damage, right? Mm-hmm. Okay.
But maybe I didn't flick it well enough, because that's a 13.
13 does not hit as
I
the
didn't-
ducks out of the way.
Okay, so the ghostly hand just misses him, and that's it for me. Oh, actually, the second is going to take a few steps back from this because she's not entirely sure. Actually, she's going to move slightly to the right towards you said. Are there pews in here?
No, there's shelves in here.
Oh, there's like an aisle of shelves to my right.
To your right. Now that you're facing him, yes, because he was behind you.
Okay, so just to get the lay of the land, because I think you said cathedral before, and I just imagined a bunch of pews, and that's not what this is.
That is my fault, though.
that's
Because I
fine.
put that in your perspective.
So, I'm imagining all the books are just on the walls on the outside, but actually, is it in the middle of the room as well? There's rows of books?
Correct.
Okay, so she is going to move down. She fires, she misses. She's going to use her movement to slip down one of the aisles of books, keeping her eye fixated on him through that, slit over top of some of the books, but still kind of getting in some cover.
Okay. Aedoro.
Aedoro is immediately going to charge the guy and attempt to stab him 3 times. Hopefully in the heart and in the faceplate.
Okie doke.
Not my faceplate.
Is he wearing a faceplate?
No.
Oh, that sucked. 13, a 12, and super high.
The super high will probably hit. What's the total?
The 27.
Okay, the 27 hits.
Yeah. That is 12 damage, and I'm going to action surge.
Okay.
Just he dodges 2 of them, and you hit him with 1.
I'm like, you
Try this again.
Oh, God.
Your weapon is magical, right?
It is magical.
Okay.
That is specifically why I made it magical.
Is it because we're going to the Shadowfell to fight
Yeah.
undead creatures?
So that is a 14, a 17, and again, super high.
The 17 and the super high will hit.
21 damage.
Wow. That is not an insignificant amount of damage. However, at the top of his turn, some of those wounds begin to heal.
Motherfucker.
We don't know that.
I know.
And then he's going to run up the wall.
Damn it.
What? He can do that?
Which gives you an attack of opportunity, Aedoro.
I will. That gets me all 3 of my dice, correct?
No. It's just 1.
But I get
Second,
two
what
extra
is
It's that's your action, not your reaction.
Listen.
Reaction is just one attack.
I want.
I looked it
I
up.
action surge off of my reaction. Oh, that was so close to a crit.
17.
17 will hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
14 damage.
Okay.
He's like, damn it.
That's what he gets for leaving me.
That's all right.
Fucker.
Well, now he's running up the side of the wall.
Oh, I can't.
He
won't-
runs up the side of the wall.
He won't get away.
Leaps across to the bookcase and then drops down onto the second.
Figured as much.
And he's going to make 2 attacks.
He likes you.
It's not mutual.
4. Okay. And yeah. Okay. So the first attack, as he slashes into your back.
What's your AC, Jane?
My AC is still 16 thanks to your magic armor.
Yeah, he rolled an 18 on the die and has a bunch of bonuses to that.
I figured as much.
9 damage off of that one.
Ouch.
And then you feel the teeth in your neck.
Oh.
So that is only 4 piercing damage plus some necrotic damage. 3 necrotic damage, and your hit point maximum is reduced by 3, and he regains 3.
Great. Vampire.
Fucking vampire.
Do I have to take any check after he bit me in the neck?
Do you have any concentration spells currently going? I don't think you
I
do.
don't.
No. And your detect magic is just your vision.
Yeah, it's just my
so
eyes, yeah.
I'm not going to worry about that one. So no.
That son of a bitch. I feel like we're in a Castlevania game now. Continuing the anime theme.
That is all he's got at the moment. So yeah, and now it is up to Dante's turn. He is in the row of books, biting into the second.
Away from us.
Away from you guys. Probably about 20 feet away from where Aedoro is.
So I can move there easily, right?
Yeah, you can
What
move
did
there.
I do to piss this guy off?
Plenty.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I am going to run over towards the second and Mr. Blondie.
Mm-hmm.
Point my crossbow in the air and I say, "Let it shine," and then cast daylight. And there's 60 feet of daylight that just emanate around that.
How does he feel about that?
Not super pleased. I'm not going to lie to you.
And then I'm going to use one of my sorcery points to, as a bonus action, do a cantrip.
Also, I need you to roll a d20.
That's right. Wait, I do?
Mm-hmm. For wild magic.
Oh, wait.
When you cast a spell of first level or higher, I can make you roll a d20 to see if you get a 1.
And it's going to happen every time.
Yeah, it's a 14.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Never hurts to check.
Oh, I forgot about that.
But you know what does hurt?
Then I'm going to do Firebolt
Oh, because you can do a bonus cantrip,
with
right?
advantage.
Oh, technically he doesn't take damage until his turn. So he'll take damage when it comes to his turn if he's in the sunlight.
Total was 15 was the highest.
On what was this?
Firebolt.
against him.
Firebolt?
Yeah.
Alrighty, 15 damage?
No,
15 to
15
hit.
to hit.
15 hit? 15 just hits.
Oh, yes.
That's good.
I did use advantage, so let's see. That
Okay.
is 4. God. Oh my god, so many ones with my damage. Alright, so 14.
14. Oof.
Fire damage.
He's looking hurt, guys. You guys front-loaded initiative, and it shows.
Do you want me to do the wild magic right now?
I'm sorry. Have you met me? Yes, Nick. I would like you to roll for wild magic.
23.
Your skin turns blue.
Again!
Yes!
Same thing.
I'm getting flashbacks.
The legend of the blue hairless sorcerer returns.
The second has an immediate moment of surprise with the fangs in her neck, and then suddenly understands.
I just looked down and I'm
Yeah.
like, I just got rid of this.
Just got this cleared up.
She's like, I'm kind of into this. No.
the hairless blue man.
The
This
third
is my,
eye,
this
baby.
is my. You look like a dude from the Blue Man Group. Yeah. You literally do.
All right. Second, it's your turn.
Okay.
You got a guy.
I'd like to make another roll to see what this thing is, because now I feel like I have context clues.
I don't think you need one, but go ahead.
I mean,
Oh, no, I see what you mean. Yeah, go ahead and
like
roll.
how it has moved, it has bit me. It's aversion to said daylight. I would like to. Can I roll with advantage?
Yeah.
Arcana?
Yeah.
Okay. 21.
21. Vampire in nature. Probably not a full vampire.
Okay.
You think that this is probably a vampire spawn, which
Okay.
are more servantile.
From its attitude earlier and like essentially it being here, do I feel like that I might be able to get kind of useful information out of this? Or what I know about vampire spawn, are they more or less drones? Like, if we interrogated this creature, could I potentially get useful information about where the ledger might be out of it, is what I'm getting at.
They are not drones. So they do have their own autonomy. They have desires and fears and the ability to feel, their own causes and things like that. Perhaps.
Okay.
By the way, right in front of you, it's just glowing.
A glowing ball
bright
of light.
You also know that vampire spawns do, above all, have a ravenous thirst for blood, but they also are under the control of the vampire who created them.
Okay. Do they travel in packs?
You don't know. They're people.
Do people travel in packs?
Historically, that's what civilization is.
You're right. I'm just wondering if this is the time to bust out this one thing. It's one thing I've been holding on to. Because this might be a perfect time to interrogate somebody, to ask about this ledger, or at least know kind of the lay of the land. So how close is he? Is he like literally right?
He's got his mouth in your mouth.
So if I tried...
neck.
Oh, in my neck. So if I tried to move away, like obviously he's going to get an attack of opportunity on me.
Yes. Now he has actually he's taken his mouth off of you because he's recoiling in
From the daylight?
discomfort.
Okay.
Yes.
So I'm going to try to essentially... Like, is there anyone within 10 feet of him besides just me?
No.
Okay, so I'm going to try to roll away, and he'll get an attack of opportunity on me.
All right.
Does he have any disadvantage because of the daylight, or is he just going to swing?
I think he does have a disadvantage on it. Yeah, attack roll. Yeah. And he's going to try to bite you because he needs health bad. That was a 5. I don't really think it matters what I add to it. I'm not going to get to 16.
So she quickly dives and rolls out of the way. With her one left arm, she slips under her uniform and pulls out a scroll and quickly whips it out and points it towards the now what she assumes is a vampire spawn, speaks a few words clearly, and the scroll dissipates, and very quickly around the vampire in a 10-feet cylinder, sigils burn up into the carpet beneath this library and up into the air, and touching every single point that hits like an object, like a library or a book or something. You see sigils appear as they touch, and the cylinder shoots into up 20 feet in a cylinder cone into the ceiling area, and she has created a magic circle here.
Okay.
Mechanically, magic circle, what it does is normally I can create a magic cylinder around myself, and things that attack me through this cylinder can't enter this cylinder unless by non-magical means. And if they try to teleport or get out of it, they have to make a charisma check against mine to see if they can even get through it. They also have disadvantage against attacks of people in a cylinder, things like that. I can also reverse it. So I can trap something in my magic circle, essentially, and it cannot leave it. And now when I cast it at a 5th level, it can't leave it for like 3 hours.
Okay.
And it's basically trapped in this circle, and if it tries to attack out, it has to try to leave it, and it can't. So yeah, I've basically trapped this vampire spawn in a magic circle.
Okay.
There we go.
Aedoro?
I first want to skywalk up on top of the shelf that he jumped over. And I want to do a perception check on the room that is now immensely lit up by daylight and see what else is in there. Would I get advantage because there's daylight?
I'll say yeah. I think that's fair.
So I have a 24.
24. As you're looking around the room, you can tell that it's mostly empty. However, you do see towards the back, probably about twice as far as the distance you've actually traveled into the library so far. Towards the back, there is a large double iron door. 2 shapes sitting outside of it don't seem to be moving.
So I point out, like, I jump down, I guess, next to the cage, and I look at the second and I say, is this one way?
Yeah, it can't get out.
So then I like stab my thing into it so that it can't. It goes in, but then like it can't block it, basically, right?
By the way, when I chose this, when you cast Magic Circle, you speak a specific type of creature. So it's not like the reason why it's only one way is this specific type of vampire spawn,
Undead.
which is an undead.
Yeah.
Undead cannot leave it, but we can go to and from out of the cylinder as we like.
Okay, so you're making an attack against it?
I just want to poke it.
Okay.
And just like stab it a little bit so that it knows its place.
Okay.
Type of thing.
Don't kill it.
No, it was only a 12. So it
12 does not hit.
Jumps
So
out of the way.
It dodges out of the way.
Hold on.
I will point out that in the far end of the room, there's...
As you're saying that, we are going to keep it moving in initiative.
Yep,
Okay.
I figured as much.
It is the vampire's turn. at the top of the vampire's turn, he's hissing. He's expecting to burst into flame, because if this was actual daylight, that would actually, the amount of damage he's taken, that would be enough to destroy him, guys. But he doesn't, and he is still a vampire who lives in the Shadowfell, so daylight is still like super messing with him. So I'm gonna say, like DM ruling, he still gets the disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks. But it doesn't actually negate his regeneration, and it doesn't also destroy him.
Right.
So he is actually going to, at the top of his turn, regain some health.
Does he try to get out of my cylinder?
That's what I was about to ask. So, yes, he's going to try.
He doesn't know what it is.
He doesn't know what it is. He's absolutely going to try, because it's a beacon that's holding him in front of what he assumes is a sun.
Yeah.
So he's going to try. I don't know this spell, so I don't know what's about to happen.
Does he have any, is he trying to get out by a teleportation mean, or is he just trying to move out of it?
He doesn't have any teleportation.
Okay, so he tries to move back and he just slams against the back of the cylinder.
It just functions like a solid wall?
Yeah, because essentially you can reverse it or have it, so like I can protect myself with it and things cannot enter into it.
But it doesn't like do damage or
no, it doesn't do damage.
Wisdom save
Mechanically,
or
it doesn't do any damage.
It's a force field.
The only time he could the only way he would be able to really escape it is if he used a magical mean of like teleportation or something like that. And even then, he would still have to take a charisma check against my DC to try to get out of it.
Okay, cool. Then he is slamming his hands against this.
So I point out with the daylight, in the back of the room, there's 2 large metal doors and 2 figures standing at the door, but they're not moving towards us.
Okay, well, we need to get some type of eyes on what's back there. We don't want something to
So I'll go.
interrupt. So, Aedoro, you're going to get
I'll go, because, I mean, he's doing the daylight thing, and you're better
Might be a bit
interrogating.
obvious.
So that makes sense.
So I make my way back there.
Okay. As you do, the vampire spawn regains a little bit of health. So as you're walking, are you still going over the tops, or?
I'm dancing from thing to thing.
Okay. So as you make your way over, you look down and you see this iron double door, and you see that there is something embossed on it. You would have to get closer in order to see what it is. You see 2 creatures perched on either side of the door, and they seem to be just sitting on pedestals. Are you being stealthy?
Not really.
Okay, so they're looking at you, but they're not doing anything. You see these 2 creatures, and they're humanoid to a degree. They have arms and legs, but they're perched, their legs are sort of bent backwards like dogs. They have sort of reptilian skin and flesh. They have spines coming off of their back, and their faces have one large eye instead of where most of the rest of their head would be. They do have a mouth and these sort of skeletal teeth, the sort of skeletal jaw, but they don't seem to be undead. They're just sort of perched there, watching you, not doing anything.
So I turn back, because I'm assuming that this is all I see in this area. There's 2 really weird things guarding the door, but they're not doing anything.
Okay.
The creature is going to regain some health.
So I turn back to the vampire spawn.
Mm-hmm.
So, still a fan of, and she eyes the cylinder around him. Still a fan of tricks, are we?
And he's sort of like hissing, because like he still doesn't like the daylight.
Now, I'm sure you're feeling not as bad as you thought you would. I want to let you know that that particular spell right there is merely just a minor show of what we can do here. You don't think we stepped into a castle with 3 vampires not expecting to walk into creatures like yourself. My friend here can dial this up to a full sun if we need to, but I'm hoping we won't have to go that far.
Make a deception check.
Deception check? This is something she's good at.
Can I help him with it?
Was it an insight?
I'm going to say with advantage because...
because there's a terrifying...
Yeah,
sun.
I mean...
Oh, much better. So that's like a 22.
22? Okay. I'm going to just go ahead and roll on his behalf. What is insight? It's wisdom based, right?
It is. How wise is a vampire spawn?
He straightens up, and at this point, the damage has pretty much negated. He's pretty much back to himself.
Back to 0.
And but he's definitely like unkempt, and he sort of like pushes his hair back, and he's like, "All right, love, you've shown you a bit more fun than the birds I'm used to."
Does it from... let me roll an insight check. Do I feel like he believes me?
Sure, go ahead and roll.
Oh, that's very good. 19.
He is shaken. Mm-hmm. He's putting up a brave face, but he believes that that you can. You also, by the way, you look at him and you still see your blood on his lips and on his chin.
Okay. I kind of wipe away the blood on my neck. I'm going to let that one go just because, look, you're only doing your job, I assume.
Well, you fellas gotta eat.
So how about this? I'm willing to make a trade. You look a bit thirsty, and obviously we've intruded upon your library. I'm willing to give you a little bit of a snack in exchange for information. Does that seem fair?
Are you telling the truth about this?
No.
Okay, then make a deception check.
All right. Still with advantage?
No, not for this.
Okay, 16.
Okay. I'm actually going to give him disadvantage on that, even though he rolled garbage, just to see. Yeah, it actually was worse. He looks at your wrist, and he, licks his lips, and he still tastes your blood, and he's just, and he moves to the edge of the circle, and he puts his hand against it, like a guy in a prison cell.
And she, at this point, has slid, the wrist, right up against the edge of the cylinder, so it's, right close to his face.
He is, ravenous. He's like, please. Yes. How can I help you?
Okay.
How can we help each other?
Well, I'm sure that you, a purveyor of this library, would know exactly where a specific book I'm looking for, as I asked you before, if you remember kindly.
I'm not gonna lie, it's a bit of a blur.
Well, I'm looking for a book just simply known as The Ledger. Your master might be tending to it quite closely. I'm just looking to peruse a few pages for my own curious means.
My master. Who are you talking about? Because that answer depends.
Your master's master, the ruler of this castle here.
Ah, yes. Well, if it's a book he likes, it'll be in the restricted section.
And where is that? Would that be with the two... What was it? Strange creatures?
Yeah, they got big eyes and reptilian skin and stuff.
Yes, is it next to the big strange creatures with the big eyes?
Through the doors, yeah.
What are these creatures, might I ask?
There used to be men, once upon a time. But knowledge is a dangerous thing, love. You have to think about that.
Thank you.
Some men go mad from it.
Well, I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm no man. So I'll keep that in mind.
Now, why don't you go ahead and drop this field?
Well, hold on. I'm not finished asking my questions. What is through that door, behind these two creatures?
I've never been through.
Really? Your master hasn't let you play around in the restricted section?
I'll be honest. I come to libraries for the babes.
That's nice. These two creatures in front, is there a code or a password to get by them? Or are we going to have to put them in a similar situation as this?
No, they'll let you through with a password.
What's the password?
If I knew, I'd go through.
So you have no more useful information for me. And she eyes the pulsing daylight above him.
Wait.
I start to touch the cross.
Wait. I can tell you things.
Go on.
How to regrow hair.
I'm sorry?
Never mind.
All right. I can tell you things about the castle.
Go on.
He clearly actually doesn't have.
And he's just kind of trying to buy time.
Just kind of buying time.
Okay. And can I roll insight for this, just
See
mechanically,
if
to see if he's been lying? And so that's with insight 17.
Seems forthright.
With the information he's given.
But
At this point, it doesn't seem like he's just kind of
he's
looking around.
Yeah.
He doesn't really have much else. So this spell, since it's typically a 3rd level, I cast it at 5th. It's 1 hour for each level beyond. So it lasts 3 hours.
Yeah.
So he's going to be trapped in here for about 3. So listen, I fully believe that what you've told me is true. And just to ensure it, I'm going to leave you here for a little while longer, and then after we return alive, because of course you've told me if there would be any traps or dangers within the restricted section, I'll let you out, and, well, this magical cage won't crush you to death, and I'll return the little favor that I promised you. And she waves her wrist in front of the cylinder turns her hand and then gives him the middle finger and then walks away.
Okay. You guys make your way to where Aedoro is?
I'm assuming you assemble
Yeah.
right next to me.
Right, with Aedoro and Dante.
So
You don't happen to know how to remove curses, do you?
I do. Why is that? Do you need a curse removed? Is it this blue condition you have going on with your skin?
he's in a blue
Yes.
period again.
Is this something that will perpetuate? The levitate before
This
seemed to
will
dissipate
never
after
go
10
away.
minutes. Really?
Yeah, last time I was like this for a
It
year.
was, it was
Listen,
a year, right?
If we all make it out of this alive, I can remove it for you.
All right,
But
sounds good.
right now, let's take care of our little problem. Apparently, there is a password that can get us through, but I don't know it, and apparently our little vampire friend doesn't either.
Did he tell you what happens when you say the wrong password?
I can assume we all know what happens if we don't say the right password.
Well, then why don't we just, go kill these things?
There are 2 of them. Dante, would you like to do the honors of kicking things off?
Oh, we're just gonna fight them?
I mean,
Do you know the password?
we don't. Do you know the password?
Open sesame?
We should probably attack them.
Did Open Sesame just open the doors?
How close are you guys to the doors?
He was within
This lich is a big fan of.
within 30 feet, I would say.
30 feet. They seem to
Well,
just...
hold on a second. Wait, no. Hold on. Let me take a second back here. We would have been discussing this not within 30 feet of the creatures. Like, 30 feet is very close. I assume we were, like, still within the book sections, like, peering very far away at them, just so we can make them out, but not...
So are we going with
By the way,
open-
is daylight still going?
Yeah, it lasts for an hour.
Okay.
Yeah, which is why this guy's probably freaking the fuck out.
So are we going with Open Sesame?
No, I don't
I
think
mean,
that's
I
right.
don't think that's the actual password, no.
I've heard this guy's really nostalgic. He is old and
You've
undead.
heard. Oh, did you? One of the skeletons on the tower was like, yeah, man, I mean, he's just so into fucking old English shit, man. Arabian Nights.
Yeah.
Great
Open
series.
Sesame is not from an English...
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know.
All right, well, if we're gonna do this,
I mean,
Racing some concentration
should
over there?
Dante just blast the door?
I point my.
I mean, when we take a look real quick, when we perceive around, do we see, like, any other things that are going to be like, oh, someone just
Yes,
blew up
there's something embossed on the door.
Oh, what's embossed on the door?
How close are you guys?
Far away.
Far enough away, but close enough that
Then
I can make it
roll
out.
perception checks.
Okay. Now, let me clarify. I can read any language.
I know.
So, okay. Actually, oh my god, I rolled above a 10, guys.
Oh my god, that was
Christmas
a
miracle.
natural 20 for a second, and then it rolled to 2.
I got a 7.
Well, you had one of the digits.
I got a 17 for my perception.
I got a 13.
Okay. On the door, you see a coat of arms divided by 2 diagonal lines running parallel from top right to bottom left. But the coat of arms is otherwise empty. Around it, there is a circle of images. There's an eye with an X sort of scarred across it. And that's part of the image. It's not like someone crossed it out.
right.
There's a shield, a skull, a diamond, a keyhole, an eye with no marring, a tower, a brain, a clenched fist, scales, like balancing scales, a flower, and a broken chain.
So,
There was a dragon cube Horace used to talk about called Zelda.
do you know what any of that means?
Can I roll what would be the check to see if I knew, like, typography or, puzzles? Like, what would I roll? Like, an investigation? Is it to perceive what's
Make
going
an
on here?
intelligence check.
Just a general intelligence
try?
check. Okay.
Yeah, any of you can.
Straight. Oh, shit. That was a 19 plus 3. That's 22 and
Nope.
22 intelligence check.
22 intelligence. This appears to be some kind of puzzle. And,
Sherlock Holmes this shit.
and you don't know what the terms are. You imagine that the individuals would give some context.
Right. So this might be an ask a question, get an answer with these 2 creatures. Okay. After surveying this door, it seems that this might be a bit more complicated than just killing the 2 individuals. We might need to interact with them. We might need to answer a question or two. Apparently, this lich is fond of riddles, as well as book collections. Are you guys open for a bit of wordplay?
Sure, I guess. I mean, we can always just default to the same old if need be.
That's true. So I guess we walk up to go speak to them.
Okay. As you approach, the two creatures are watching you as you approach. Who's making the approach to be the closest? Or are you all like side by side?
I think we could all walk up side by side.
Yeah,
Okay.
side by side.
The one on the left speaks. And he says, knowledge. And the image of the brain appears in the left side of the coat of arms. Glowing blue.
Mm-hmm.
The one on the left says, freedom. And the image of the broken chain appears on the right side, glowing blue. Then those images fade and disappear from the coat of arms, and the ring of images glows. Each image glows with the exception of the brain and the broken chain.
So we need to find the other two images, is what this is.
So I just gave Jay a list of the words. I would have given a handout, but I did not have enough time to draw one for you
DM.
guys.
That's fine.
It's okay.
So I was exporting an episode of Because Comics this morning.
It's okay. He was printing out all the handouts. He was sending all of you, the listener.
By the way, I do want to talk more about how multiple men poops.
This might be the time to discuss it. These guys feel like they're real talkative fellows. These two at the door. We've got okay, eye with an X across it, shield, a skull, a diamond, a keyhole, an eye, clean with no X over it, a tower, a brain, which you already know, a clenched fist, scales, a flower, and a broken chain. I feel like we saw some symbols in some of the other towers. So, do I need to roll for memory because Jay forgot what those symbols were? Or could the DM remind me?
The symbol going into the library was a brain and I believe a broken chain.
Roll intelligence checks, and I'll just tell you guys what you remember.
Come on, roll better than last time.
Oh.
10 for my intelligence check.
What are my bonuses?
It's just your intelligence bonus.
18. I rolled better.
Okay. Dante, you remember that going into the library, the left side was a brain, the other was a clenched fist, and you remember that there was a doorway into the Shadowfell as well. And this doorway had a skull and a broken chain.
Sounds like a skull and a clenched fist might be our answers here, fellas. Although I'm not saying this in character. 'Cause that'd be weird.
Well, actually,
Dante should be saying this.
Why did your voice just change?
And we just saw a brain and a broken chain.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I've been distracted by my blue skin.
It's all right.
I remember seeing a skull and a broken chain on the doorway into the Shadowfell.
That seems right.
So you're saying that these might be the other two symbols missing, a skull and a clenched fist.
Yes.
All right. But obviously these are matching something. If a brain and freedom, the other two, what does skull and clenched fist represent? Do we think this represents some type of riddle?
Death and power would be my assumption.
As you say that, the door opens.
Oh, when he says skull and clenched fist?
When you say death and power, those the skull and the clenched fist appear on the symbols, and they open.
So it turns out I am a master cryptographer.
The creatures nod at you, Aedoro.
And they kill the other two.
I snap my fingers and then wink and point at them.
Which one are you pointing at?
Both.
Both? Okay.
So I just basically close my eyes because that double winks.
They also can't wink, so
They can't wink. That's true. They have one eye.
Winking is called blinking for them.
At this point, one of the creatures climbs up off of their pedestal and starts walking into the next room.
Interesting.
So
we have
we're
a guide.
So we follow after it, I guess.
So I guess
Yeah.
I just sort of look at the second and I'm like, just say the ledger, right?
Yeah, I assume we just follow after him and see if he can take us at least in the vicinity or exactly to the ledger. These things might just operate as if we are their master. It just asks a question, and if you get the answer right, it takes you through.
All right, so we just keep walking
and follow
Okay.
it in.
You enter a smaller room. There's a path down the center of the room and shelves leading out from it, but you can actually see the ceiling. You can actually see the walls on either side. It's still pretty decent in size. It's a library at this point. And there are these racks of books, but each one of them is almost like Doctor Strange, like they're facing out, so that you can see the covers of them.
Are they chained?
They are not chained. They're just on these shelves facing.
I think if you're in this room, like you've made it. Like
No, but I mean like the book. I'm saying the books can sell.
No. I know. Yeah.
There's also some tables. As you look around, there are tables for reading.
Oh, he's got like a nice little reading
So
area.
I say out loud, the ledger.
He nods and starts walking you further into the room.
So we follow him.
Wow, that worked.
You're really nailing this.
You guys walk about 6 rows deep, and then he turns right and starts taking you along. And you can pass some books that are clearly made of human skin, or some that are like glowing
Any
green.
fun names I can pick out since I can read any language?
Yes, Mike didn't prepare a list of them, but they are things like Wickedness and You,
Nice.
and
That's a classic one.
and 50 Shades of Grey is there.
Of course it is. Of course. That one's in human skin.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, there's some horrifying things like
Specific.
It's
human
skin. It's skin with whip marks on it.
Yeah.
Fantastic beasts that you don't want to find.
Yeah. There are some books that are like there's a book with an eye on the cover and it's like watching you walk by.
It's the book from Hocus Pocus.
I don't remember that movie.
Guys, want to steal the souls from little girls and live forever?
Sure, why not? And then you
took a
guys
turn.
and then you guys walk to a book that would you like to describe it, Jay?
Yeah. So we walk up and where is it kept in this library?
It is 6 rows in, 2 shelves to the right, and on like the 4th or 5th shelf.
Okay.
So you guys actually need to get onto one of the ladders to get up to it.
So this is a thick book. It is what you would imagine 2 dictionaries kind of stacked on top of each other in thickness. So thick that the spine of it actually connects to a golden metal handle that you have to pull it out. When you pull it out, you can see the outside framing of it is black obsidian stone, like hard marble tile, basically, when you pull it off. So it is heavy. Very, very heavy. So I'm assuming this thing, it's done some free weights, it lifts it just fine.
Oh, it doesn't reach for it. It's
It
just directing you to where it is. Yeah.
So, but the spine of it and the sides of it are thick obsidian marble with a golden handle on the outside to pull it out. We can't really see the pages from here, but we see old sigils inscribed around the spine of it and on the edges of the book itself.
Mm-hmm. And it points up at the book.
So
and there's a ladder that you can bring over to.
So we nod to the creature. Does it leave or is it just?
No, it's just watching.
It's gonna hang out. All right. So second goes up and with her left hand grabs the golden handle and pulls the book out from the shelf.
Okay.
Slowly steps down from the ladder and sets it down on one of the reading desks with a huge thud.
Mm-hmm.
She goes to the other side of the book where there is essentially a clasp, a golden clasp on the other end, connecting the 2 pieces. It has an intricate kind of puzzle on it. Think of it like a disc within discs, 3 different layers of discs. That's how it's locked. She quickly spins with her left finger around the disc. She's done research on how to open this thing, and she knows what it is. Unlocks it and unlocks the clasp and flips open the book. The pages themselves, although they look worn, the edges of the pages on each page she flips through, a ghostly aura kind of peels off of each page. So where you might see tearing on a book, think of it like spiritual, like ethereal tearing.
Cool.
Like where some of the pages are torn is not paper coming off. It is as if like ghosts or
It's
souls.
almost like
are,
it's disintegrating, essentially.
Question: as you open the book, what is the second's alignment?
on the spot, Mike. You don't ask a person on the first date what their alignment is. Yeah. The second...
Let me rephrase, because I know that we may not want to give away too much about the second.
Sure.
Is she evil?
She is not.
A wail begins to fill the room. A shriek begins to emanate from the book and echoes through the library. You can hear it echoing, resounding down the halls.
Okay.
The creature snarls and then runs out of the room.
What is this creature? Oh, that creature with the eye.
Yeah.
Is that the thing that was wailing?
No, the
Or
book
it's just,
wailed.
Like,
It is still screaming.
oh, the book is. Okay.
The book is shrieking.
I'm gonna roll an Arcana check on the book.
Guys?
Sure.
What's with the... It's loud.
Yeah, I think people know we're here.
I wasn't aware about this. 10. I probably don't know what's going on.
It is some sort of alarm. and-
Arcana?
Because if it's a curse, I can potentially remove the curse,
Or-
so that we're not
or-
pulling everybody.
Or
to
dispel
us.
magic.
21.
Or dispel
Arcana.
magic. Yeah.
You're not sure what it would be. Honestly, even with a 21 Arcana, it is likely either a curse or a magical alarm. It could be either, and you're not sure which.
The book's still open?
The book is still open.
Can
And
I
still
I try and
screaming.
close it?
As you close it, the scream continues.
Well,
Not muffled at all.
I didn't expect this. This was not in the intel that I'd gathered.
Run?
So before we run, she opens the book again and starts flipping through pages. There are some pages that are really, really old in here, and the etherealness, again, the wear and tear of this book is almost completely melted or essentially misting away. These are older deaths, essentially. But she's flipping to a more fresh page, a very fresh page. And she finds it, she scrolls her fingers down and sees the name she's looking for. She grabs the page and rips it out of the ledger.
Okay.
She essentially rips it out and she folds it into fourths and then sticks it with her left hand into her uniform. Basically taking that one page. Okay, that's exactly what I needed, but we need to get out of here right now.
I grab both the second and Aedoro's arm, and I cast invisibility.
Oh, okay.
all right.
So
Yeah.
on all of us.
Yeah.
So you have to cast it at a 4th level in order to do that. So that's fine. Okay.
I take point and I immediately blaze to the door.
Okay. As you run to the door, you see standing, not in the doorway, but just outside of it, a woman in dark armor inlaid with these green sort of veins, very short cut hair, a red cloak hanging over her shoulders,
Fuck.
and she turns and says, "Who's in there?" And the one-eyed creatures look and they point directly at you.
So they can see us. Damn it.
And she sort of turns, smiles, and moves and just shuts the door with you guys inside.
Okay. Well, that sucks.
Shit.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode. We'll be back next week with the 4th and final part of this interlude. Then we'll be back with the Velvet League's adventures on May 19th. We won't be doing an aftermath for this adventure just yet, though maybe down the road we'll be able to discuss a bit more about the design of this adventure and how the interlude came together. In the meantime, just a reminder that you can send us aftermath questions on Twitter by tagging @partialarc and using the hashtag aftermath. We'll collect questions that come in throughout season 16, and Mike will ask them on the show. This episode included music by Kevin MacLeod of incompetech.com. You can find the track listing and credits in the show notes. Photos and character art can be found in the show notes on partialarc.com. And while you're there, why not check out some of our other podcasts, including Because Comics, where Mike Christensen and I talk about the weird and wacky stories of comic books. If you have any questions about the show, you can email us at FridayNightQuests@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Tumblr, all under the handle partialarc. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you on the battlefield.
Yeah, I'm gonna loot the body.
So, how much experience do we get?
Well, now we have a skeleton army, so that's pretty neat.